Hey there, you want to know what Angelina's huge divorce mistake was and how you can avoid doing the same thing? Watch this video and I'll let you know. I am Rebecca Zung. I am an attorney, I am an author, and I am a narcissist negotiation expert. And I give you tips and tricks on how to get the leg up in your negotiations, even with the most toxic of people. If you want step-by-step guidance from where to begin all the way to a win, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell and you will find out. All right, let's talk about Angelina and her huge divorce mistakes. I've actually talked about this divorce for a while now because it's been going on like more than 5 years or something like that. They're almost like getting divorced longer than they were actually married. But anyway, I digress. So they've been involved with this 5-year-long custody battle. Apparently, Brad was just given 50-50 time and she is appealing it. He was, granted joint custody. She's not happy. But you know what? I have to tell you, 50-50 is pretty much what's standard in a lot of states nowadays, whether you like it or not. And, for those of you moms out there, I feel for you. I mean, I've had 4 children and sometimes you feel like you do the better job or whatever, or dads who are feeling that way. The bottom line is the judges just feel like the other side can learn a lot of times. And so there's not a whole lot of empathy around that. So with that being said, what was Angelina's big, huge divorce mistake? Well, she's pushing to have the kids testify in court. She wanted them to testify against Brad Pitt in open court while Brad sat there. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be a lawyer to know that that feels really icky and awful. I mean, she wanted them to testify about what they experienced from Brad Pitt's parenting and how it was during their marriage prior to 2016. So, because their marriage ended in 2016, which is a long time ago now at this point, and the kids have grown and they've had all kinds of things. And, she wants them to go into court, sit in open court on a witness stand and testify about their children. I mean, this is super frowned upon. I just want you to know that. Even when they're teenagers, even if the law says that they get to choose when they get to be a certain age, it's very traumatizing for kids to testify in court. It's a scary place. It's scary for adults to go into, let alone children or even teenagers. I mean, anyone, period. So, especially while the other parent is sitting there watching it. So, what do the courts prefer instead? They prefer something called in camera, which means that the children can maybe go and talk to the judges in their chambers, which is like more like an office. Still not great, but it's a little better. It's just like with the judge and no one else. I've actually seen judges just clear the courtroom so that no one else is in there except her and the kids. That's one that I saw. They do prefer if somebody else talks to the children, but in a nicer setting, maybe even in their home or something like that. So that could be through the testimony of a child custody evaluator. It could be through the testimony of a attorney for child or a guardian ad litem who's been appointed, somebody who can have a little bit more of an easy conversation and it's not so scary and the other parent's not sitting right there listening. It's kind of yucky, right? And the other person who could potentially talk to the children, but it's sort of scary as well. But the child services, so if you really think your child is in danger, you can try calling whatever the version is of Child Protective Services in your particular area, have them investigate. They will likely talk to the children then. And, the one thing that's interesting is that normally the child services people and other people in the system, like custody evaluators, they're actually trained in recognizing if a child has been coached. So if there's an alienation conversation or concern, then maybe they would be able to spot that as well. So this probably worked against her. She got a ruling that she didn't like. And it probably worked against Angelina because she showed that she wasn't putting the kids' needs first. It backfired on her. And even though the court didn't allow it, they said no to it, by the way, it still showed who she was. Remember that old story about the baby and like cutting the baby in half in the Bible, and they could tell who the real parent was because the real parent was like, no way, don't do that. I mean, it's not as bad as that, but it's, sort of, because she showed that she was not putting the kids' needs first, that she was putting her need for revenge and to hurt Brad, and to, the fact that she was kind of pushing to have the kids be against her and all of that. I mean, against him, that the court would be able to see that. The judge would be able to see that. So anyway, she filed an appeal. Appeals are very hard to win. I think it's like 15% of appeals actually win, because you're not allowed to enter in new evidence. You have to see, is there an error as a matter of law? Or, did the court make a serious error in judgment in looking at the evidence? It's not a whole new trial on the appellate level. And so it's really hard because, appellate courts don't want to disturb the trial court rulings. They pretty much try to give the judge the benefit of the doubt there. But she filed an appeal, and her complaint is that the kids didn't get to testify once again. And as I said, kids can be coached, and courts know that. And I don't think she's probably going to get very far in this appeal. And I have to say, the other thing that the judge was probably looking at is that Angelina is sending up red flags all over the place. She has changed lawyers lots of times. She's had very good lawyers, and she's changed a lot of lawyers. So that sometimes is a red flag if you've had to change lawyers a lot of times. I'm not saying don't do it if you need to, but that, in addition to a lot of other red flags, can, make the judge sort of question what's going on that side of the fence. She was also keeping the kids away from the dad, from Brad Pitt. I actually was on Extra talking about this a couple of years ago, where he was like, you better give him timesharing or I'm going to take away your timesharing, which is oftentimes an indication that there's been some alienating going on. There's a fine line between being protective of your children and just being punitive and wanting to punish the other side because, and use the children as a way to do that. So, what I would do if I were you is, even if you can't stand the other person, even if you do feel like, there's a risk, I would make sure that you're using the facts in light of the statute and the factors in the best interest statute, so that you put your facts in terms that the judge will actually care about. So that's one thing, and make sure that your message is in harmony with each other at all times. You can't say, oh, I'm afraid for their safety, but it's okay if they're over there every other weekend. Ask for supervised time sharing, ask for sole, but then be ready to back it up. Because if you ask for all of that and nothing comes of it, then you're going to lose credibility with the court. Then you just end up looking like you're vindictive, which is what's happening right here. And this is becoming a big mistake for Angelina. I don't know the intimate details of this case. I don't know the exact facts, but this is the way it's coming out and the way it's seeming to look. So think about that in terms of your own particular situation when you are getting ready to present your case. And if you are getting ready to negotiate, grab my free Crush My Negotiation prep worksheet at winmynegotiation.com. And join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. I have more on this. I mean, you can check out my video where Angelina talks about overcoming becoming broken. You can definitely check that out. And if you are so ready to win, give me a I'm ready to win in the comments right now. And if you like this video, give it a like, give it a share, drop me a comment. Say, I'm ready to win. And make sure that you have subscribed and hit that notification bell. So I'm Rebecca Zung. Remember, today's a great day to start negotiating your best life. And I will see you in the next video.